Good morning, everyone. BVI Football Association Executive Council, members of the press, colleagues from our CONCACAF, members of the football supporters. On behalf of the BVI Football Association, it is my pleasure to welcome you to today's press conference. We are honored to host this pivotal engagement with our colleagues from CONCACAF, whose vision and commitment to the development of football across the region continues to inspire us. We take this opportunity to welcome our guests, President of CONCACAF, Mr. Montagliani, Nidia Marsano, Office of the President, Senior Manager, Horace Reed, Director of CONCACAF Caribbean Office, Howard McIntosh, Director of Caribbean Member Association Affairs, Sophia Melizia, Member Association Senior Manager, Alvaro Eurasia, Director of Communications, Carol Portillo, Office of the President Executive Assistant. This press conference brings together visionaries and stakeholders who are actively shaping the future of the beautiful game in our territory and across the region. Today, we celebrate progress, reaffirm partnership, and look ahead with purpose. It is my honor to now introduce a leader who exemplifies dedication, integrity, and bold vision in football administration, Mr. Avenel Morton. As president of the BVI Football Association, he has championed inclusion, youth development, and strategic advancement. Please welcome the president of the BVI Football Association, Mr. Avenel Morton.
Good morning to each and every one of you here this morning. It's a pleasure, a joy, and happiness to have our esteemed, our president from CONCACAF, Mr. Victor Montiago. It's been a long time coming, and ever since I met him in 2010, I've always advocated that he will be a good leader. And today, for the third time in the British Virgin Islands, I'm proud to be a part of this conference to introduce to you again Mr. Victor Montiago. So again, Mr. Victor, thank you for coming to the British Virgin Islands. It is immense pride and heartfelt appreciation that I welcome you all, and especially Mr. Montiago, to this British Virgin Island beautiful gem of the Caribbean. Mr. President, we are truly honored by your presence, your visit, more than just courtesy. It reflects your deep commitment to engage with all corners of football in the community, large and small. We are grateful that you take this time to assess our infrastructure, meet with our stakeholders, witness firsthand the strides we are making in football development here in the British Virgin Islands. This moment holds personal significance to me as the president of the BVI Football Association. I recall our first meaningful exchange of words. It was during a bus ride to a dinner in Budapest in 2010 Hungary, when you were serving as president of the Canadian Football Association. I spoke to you about the development of women football program in the BVI and request Canada's support for our country, which we were lacking at that time. You listened carefully. Despite our small size, you saw promise, extended and helping hand, even reaching out to the US on our behalf. That gesture spoke volume for me, and not just about your leadership, but your integrity and your vision for united and inclusive CONCACAF Federation. Later during your campaign for the presidency, I must admit I was one of your most persistent questionnaires, which I even asked our council members to don't be afraid to ask you the hard question, what you intend to do for the entire region. But you welcome every welcome every question with more importantly and respond with action. Since election, you are consistent, delivering on your promises that you have made. You have teach each member association, or you have treat each member association, regardless of size, with respect, equality, and unwavering support. You once told me that if you elected, you will visit our country. Not only have you kept that promise, you are here today for the third time, and because of you, I like to think big. I am officially extending a fourth invitation for you in August for the opening of our first phase of our new field in Easton. It will be also a proud moment for us, as it marks our 50th anniversary of the BVI Football Association. We're deeply honored to welcome you and extend the invitation to the FIFA president and our colleague in the Caribbean Football Union as well. So I'm expecting the FIFA president, the CONCACAF president, and the CFU president for our inauguration of our new artificial turf in August, early September. And that's an invitation, and we are looking for a yes and not a no. On behalf of the entire BVI Football Association and family, and the wider Virgin Island community, I thank you, Mr. Montagliani. Whether it's financial assistance, infrastructure, education, or development program, you have always answered our call. Your leadership through challenging time has been transparency, stable, and renewed respect to our confederation. CONCACAF now stronger and unified, respected among all 6 confederations. Your journey have been easy, your journey have not been easy, but it has certainly been impactful. We are proud to stand with you gratefully for your continued leadership. May you be blessed with wisdom, strength, continued vision as you guide us forward. We once again, my friend, and I say again, my friend, since 2010, our president, the British Virgin Islands, welcome you to the British Virgin Islands and says thank you, President.
As we move from vision to technical execution, we are pleased to hear from the individual responsible for shaping the football pathway from the grassroots up to the national squads. His guidance is essential to the player and coach development system as we continue to build. Let us welcome the Technical Director of the BVI Football Association, Mr. Paul Decker.
Good morning, everyone. All protocols observed. Mr. President, welcome. Mr. Morton, President of the BVI, the Council, Andy Davis, and Ms. Laura Lee, First and Second Vice President. From my seat, the slogan that from CONCACAF is one CONCACAF. And in my short tenure here thus far, we have been visited 3 times by CONCACAF technical people. That support, I can't put it into words, but gives us the confidence to do what we do. It pushes us to be at the highest level in the region, not only in the region, but in the world. We see BVI as an opportunity to show what a small country can do and punch with the best in the world. What I would say, again, one CONCACAF is not just in writing, it is in action. And that ties back, as Mr. President said, to leadership. And by having the CONCACAF president here, it caps off a tremendous run of the visits and the support that we get from CONCACAF and what we are trying to achieve. Sets a stage for us going forward. From this side, we see the importance of what has been done with the CONCACAF coaching convention now, an opportunity to build our capacity to raise the level of our game by improving our coaches. The president spoke about the grassroots environment. That's where our game is. And those coaches that work with those young players set the tone for the future of our game. So again, we look forward to their continued support, and I can say thus far, it has had a great impact on what we are doing here in a very short space of time, and we look forward to their visit again in August. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Deco. Now, it is with my distinct honor to introduce our guest of the hour, a visionary leader in the global football. As president of CONCACAF and vice president of FIFA, he has been instrumental in expanding opportunities across the region, from grassroots development to elite international competition. He is a passionate advocate for inclusion, integrity, and investment in the game we all love. Please join me in welcoming the president of CONCACAF, Mr. Victor Montagliani.
Trust me, I have heard much worse than that. That was actually very good. Thank you very much. It is indeed an honor to be here. We have had a great visit, starting yesterday when we came, and I have to say that your hospitality, and I don't mean just the hospitality of eating and drinking water, by the way, just for the record. But just the way you, from the moment we walked through the airport, just the actual energy that you sort of accepted all of us here. I know it's an official visit. I know that I have a title of CONCACAF president, but for me, you made me feel like I was coming home to a family. So thank you. And I'm inspired by the fact of the work that's been done. I was speaking to, the BVI family in terms of, and obviously the leadership, not just President Martin, but obviously his technical people. I think what's important in football is obviously, we all need facilities. We all need what I call the hardware of football. So we saw the pitch, we saw the plans, which are fantastic. I had a chance to have dinner last night with the Premier, who I am, heartened to know that the Premier supports our game, supports the BVI football. And so, I think that's testament to your work, President, and what you've done in short order. As we know, anywhere in the world, that it's not easy to get government on side. So chapeau to you in terms of the work you've been doing already with your team in short order. Obviously, the future plans, not only of your facility, but also what's going to be happening in Easton with respect to the pitch. But also, I think what really struck me is what I call the software that you're working on, because you're going to have the best hardware in the world, but if your software doesn't work, you might as well shut down your computer. It's the software you're working. You have a full-time men's head coach. You have a full-time technical director. You have a full-time, from a women's development standpoint. That is something that is a watershed moment for me in the Caribbean. Many, many Caribbean members need to take your lead in terms of understanding that part-time doesn't equal success in football, and that you need to take a leadership role, and you've taken that leadership role, and I know it will pay dividends, not only in the quality of people that you've hired, but also just in ensuring that you are investing in the software of your programs, that you are investing in what football is all about, which is players, first and foremost, and obviously those that support players, which is coaches. And so again, I thank you for that vision. I know it will succeed. As we've talked, as we met 15 years ago, and I do remember that moment on the bus in Budapest. And I'm very happy to see that my friend now is leading this federation, this association, And as you know, and I don't even have to say this to you, but I will, that you have the unequivocal and unconditional support of me personally and of CONCACAF, and not only obviously in the present, but in the future as well. So again, thank you. I'll just finish off with this, is that, and I appreciate and I thank you for the kind words from obviously Technical Director Paul. By the way, you're on brand there with your sambas there. Well done. Because I'm not sure a technical director could be wearing these shoes, right? I have a thing with shoes. We'll talk about that later. And obviously, thank you, President, for your kind words that really touched my heart. So thank you. But I think the thank you really is from me to you. And I say that because when I visit with my members, when I visit with my presidents, when I come to a family like the BVI Association, you inspire me. You're the one that puts oxygen in my bloodstream to continue to do what I do, right? And that it really inspires me, not only now, but obviously as we move forward. And so I want to thank you for not only what you do every day, but also how you inspire me to be the CONCACAF president. So thank you very much.
Thank you, President Montagliani. I've actually spent a few days trying to practice that name.
I could have given you my mom's phone number.
Okay, before we move on to our special presentation, I would like to specially acknowledge our Executive Council, who has been working tirelessly and very hard behind the scenes. And we just want to let you guys know that your work does not go unnoticed. So today we have with us Mr. Andy Davis, who is on the panel list. This is our first Vice President. We have Miss Laurelie Abrams, our second Vice President, Kendrick Grant, our Treasurer, and our Directors are Mr. Wendell Williams, Miss Priya Mohammed, and excused for today, Mr. Nichols, and excused for today, Mr. Craig Grant. We will now move on to our special presentation by the BVI Football Association President, Mr. Morton, and our second Vice President, Mrs. Laurelie Abrams, and Miss Priya Mohammed.
Here we go.
Oh, okay, yeah. Put the mic here if you want. Thank you.
On behalf of the British Virgin Islands, its members, the association, and the entire family, first Vice President along with the Director will present you a gift, a token from the British Virgin Islands. I hope that takes you a long way. It's one of the best. So when you go back to Canada, England, wherever you go to, you will always see the BVI, all the islands, everything. So that will be in the back of your mind and in front of you. So I hope you and your family and everybody enjoy.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Good. Thank you. Gorgeous. Thank you very much.
We are small in body but large in heart.
Yes, definitely.
And with your full name and everything in there.
That's fantastic. Thank you. That is absolutely stunning. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. President, on behalf of CONCACAF, I have something for you. And so, as you know, our 41 diamonds of our CONCACAF family. So on behalf of the CONCACAF family, and as listed here, I want to thank you for yesterday and today. And as I said in my remarks, I'm very happy with the work that's been led by yourself and your team for football, and not only raising football in the BVI, but raising CONCACAF as well. So thank you very much, and you have a tremendous heart, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we now open the floor for questions from our media partners. You will kindly state your name and address the question to the specific person, if applicable. And we will begin with one question per outlet. And if we need any follow-up, we will allow.
Good morning, Kathy Richards, JTV News. Welcome to you and your team to the beautiful Virgin Islands. You would have alluded to in your speech the model that the BVI Football Association is to several of the other countries that have association. Could you highlight for us that key component of what you would have seen here in the Virgin Islands that can be taken back and have other countries institute to make their associations better?
Yeah, so I think football is about culture, right? And we talk about, the great clubs and the great countries. That's not just about what happens on the pitch, it's what happens off the pitch. It's about the culture of football. If you want to change football in the direction of your football, not only for the success on the field, you have to change it off the field. That means building a culture. The only way to do that is through the technical part of the game, right? It's not through suits like me, right? It's through the technical part of the game. And so to do that, right, you have to have, obviously, your head coach, your technical director, director of women's football. But what the BVI has done is had those positions, right, live on the island, work on the island, day to day, break bread with people, hear their stories, hear what the challenges are. Unfortunately, a lot of our, too many members, right, what they do with those positions is they have them part-time, they have them live, they live in their own countries, they come in maybe on a FIFA window, or come in when there's a meeting. And by the way, we're not just talking about the Caribbean. There's big countries that do that, okay? And I think that is a failure to do that. I think you need to take the bull by the horns and say, listen, you want to be the head coach? You want to be the technical director? You want to be the director of women's football? Great. You got to be here every day with my people, with our people, because that's what's going to change the direction of your federation, the direction of your community, the direction of the game. And so that the BVI has done that through the president's leadership with his team, I think that's a great step, and I think it's a lesson to a lot of other federations in not only the Caribbean, but also in CONCACAF and even globally.
Okay. And I'll make use of my follow-up that I'm allowed, and it's to Mr. Morton. Having heard of such a credit given to you and applause given to you for such an initiative, we in the media, we beat you up a lot with heavy questions because we want to see you do better. Having now heard what the president of CONCACAF is saying, how does that make you feel in terms of the level of management that you would have brought to the association since you became the president?
Well, with that said and done, since ever we have been advocating to take football forward into the British Virgin the team. It's not the president alone, it's a team. So the whole council members, from the first vice president, the second, the board of directors and the treasurer and the general secretary, we have decided we wanted to empower our staff, our general secretary, and we wanted people on ground to make football more vibrant to the public. Having a technical director for the past 6 years wasn't beneficial to me, because it's just like you're wasting money. And 1 week in, 1 week in every 3 months wasn't sufficient for our team. It's a team, so we decided we want everybody full and ground. With a lot of scrutiny, we went through the technical director first, and then we went to the national coach, and then the TDS women program. So it's a good feeling, and it's a good accomplishment for the entire team that our vision has been implemented in football in the British Virgin Islands.
Thank you. I hope we have opportunities for more questions.
You're welcome.
You were mentioning that you invited him back to the opening of the, I think you said stadium and then you said field, right?
Okay.
I'm not sure which is it. What is happening with the stadium and field?
Okay, let me correct you. Maybe a mistake was made by the word they said before, but it's the inauguration of the new artificial extension of the new artificial turf with a 500 seating and the scoreboard and the generator. So that's the inauguration of the new artificial turf. And then we go to the second phase in the long run. After the first phase is finished, then we go to the second phase. But it's the inauguration and the 50th anniversary final celebration and prize giving ceremony that we are inviting them back for.
And the 500 seat stadium?
No, the 500 seating, not stadium.
Oh, 500
seats. First phase.
Mm-hmm. And then what about the plans for the stadium?
Well, for the plan for this, we have to complete this first stage before we go to that second stage. So after this first stage phase, in the next 3 to 4 months, then we go to the second phase, which we expect the second phase to start as soon as possible, but can't give you definite word right now.
Next in the house. My next question would be to Paul. You are the first technical director, the first to be resident in the Virgin Islands. What has that experience been for you so far? And if you can tell us the key things that you were able to do that is seeing much success.
Yeah. Again, coming from another Caribbean island, the transition was fairly easy. One of the things that we would recognize right away that we have been able to tap into or build on is that we realize that in the BVI there's a very strong sense of community, strong value system as well. How does that tie into what we are trying to achieve in the long term? The education of our coaches, investing in the development of people. So that's one area that we looked at right away, was structuring and designing a coach education pathway to start working with the coaches. The coach education department we see as an opportunity to support all areas of football. So by having better coaches, investing in the coaches, we can have better players. This is going to take some time, and what it equates to now would be better leagues, stronger competitions, and the 4 to 8 year benefit of that will be helping our national teams to become more competitive. So currently we have a functioning coach education department with full-time staff. We've applied and are waiting for official word regards to our acceptance to the coaching convention. which CONCACAF will communicate to us in the very near future. The second part of that we spoke about is having a men's team coach on the ground. We have a very experienced coach who has worked in the Caribbean before, and his presence here has allowed us to not only impact our national men's team, but also have his experience filter out into some of our other national teams as well. And then with the addition now of a women's director, the women's game in the world has grown exponentially, and we need to get on board with that and have our ladies more opportunities to play, a pathway for young female players in the BVI to go straight through to senior national teams. So that's still in a very early phase, but the extension of that is we want to see that really grow. And CONCACAF is offering us support, not only again in the competition side of things, but the capacity building. So we are going to be looking to identify and develop more female coaches, which we are doing already, female coach educators, female administrators. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities that will come out of what is happening now. And again, I can't say enough. I mean, I come from working in the Trinidad FA, where it's a fairly medium-sized FA that has a lot of activity. And in my 7-8 months here, this is our 4th visit from CONCACAF, being capped off by having the president here. So it really shows the support. It says something, I think, about the work that we're doing in the BVI is being recognized. And we don't only see it being recognized at a regional level, but long term, we are thinking on the world stage to put the BVI brand out there.
Okay, so we would have heard so much about the technical aspect of it, but without the players themselves, you do not exist. And one of the things that we continue to hear, players calling for more to be done for them. Yes, we know that they are associated with clubs, and the clubs have certain responsibilities. To form a national team only requires X amount of players. When we have so many clubs, we have so many players on island, and most of them do it out of the passion, the love for the game, for a pastime and all of that. But players continue to ask for more to be done for them as players working through their clubs. Can you shed some light as to how are we focusing our energies to make sure that players are constantly happy and want to continue playing the game of football?
Sure. Again, I'd like to take that because I would say, we are not restarting. I would say we are rebuilding, restructuring a little bit to better align ourselves to what's happening regionally and globally. We've looked immediately again at our youth programs because that's the future of our game. So with the support of FIFA, offer us the TDS program. The strength that the BVI has is a great school competition that's supported by BDO. That's where all of our players are going to come from. Out of that now, we have a player pathway for them to enter into elite, the TDS program, which is an elite program that we identify the best players in their age group in the country, girls and boys. That's a 4-year program that they will enter at U13 and go to U16. The pathway now from there, earlier this year we would have been represented in Costa Rica by our U17 team, and I don't know how many of us know, but our team did very well, and we jumped actually 6 spots in the CONCACAF rankings. So right there we see a connection from schools football to elite programs through to our junior national teams, U17s. Next we'll have the U20s coming out of this. To go a little further now, with our men's team preparing now for World Cup qualifiers. We do have a friendly pre-World Cup qualifiers against St. Vincent, and then we play Dominica on June 4th, and we have a very historic game here on June 7th where we'll play Jamaica. We have included in that team a lot of our U20s and U17s to begin giving them that exposure of what it is like to work with a national team, to work with a coach like who we have here now, who is a pro licensed coach and with exposure in the international stage. And included in there would be players that he would have selected out of our men's team leagues by visiting the games. So what we're trying to do now is use this opportunity to give our young players exposure to working with a coach like who we have now and the experience of the men teams, the players out of the men's league. In terms of what you asked with regards to satisfying that need, that's the immediate solution that we are able to do now. Going forward, we would like to now include more of those younger players into our men's league, because I think now the age groups in the men's league is quite a high average age, and we want to see more young players, U20s, U17s, playing in our leagues to bring a little sort of youth energy to it. And I think with the addition of the new pitch, the new stadium, we are going to have opportunities to grow it at that level and enhance our competitions a lot more.
All right, thank you.
Can I ask you just mentioned something about a qualifier. When is against St. Vincent, is that?
Yeah.
When is that scheduled for, and how is the team preparing, and is it when it's going to be named? And I know the last press conference you said you were going to confirm who's the assistant coach. Has the opportunity to do that?
This is not the press conference for that. We have a separate press conference for this question.
No, but you mentioned the thing, so we would like
As
to
we close this morning's press conference, I extend sincere thanks to all our panelists, members of the media, and everyone joining today. This event is more than just a brief event. Going forward, we will have more opportunities like this for the media, especially our upcoming series, Coach's Corner.
We have more for them. You brought us here to Scrub Island on a Saturday morning, and we have 2 questions. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's so fair.
Okay. I will give each media host one more question. And please remember, let's just keep it professional.
We are. Thank you for speaking up. Thank you. Okay, so one question was thrown at me just yesterday afternoon when I was mentioning that we were coming to this press conference today. And I don't know if it was a hypothetical, but something that a person was saying, but is it, do we think that the BVI has the opportunity to qualify for World Cup?
I thought these were earrings, by the way. I didn't think there were mics.
The one can stay over there.
No, it's all right. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. You know, this is the beauty about a World Cup. You know, the World Cup, and I used to be the president of the Canadian Football Association. And my very first meeting as a president of the organization, I actually rolled the ball on the table. And because it wasn't really a football first philosophy in my country. And which is something that is very important to me. Because I think if you don't have a football first philosophy, you are absolutely dead in the water. The great thing about what I've seen here is they have a football first philosophy. Paul's explanation of what he just said, that's music to my ears, right? You know, if you're 39 years old and you still want to play, great. But you shouldn't be taking the spot of a 17-year-old kid in a local league who has aspirations. So there's 2 things we sell here: is results and hope. That's what my job is. The World Cup is, you need to define what the World Cup is for you. Okay? There's some realities in world football, that there's countries that likely will never qualify for the final round of the World Cup. All right? But the World Cup means something different to you, to everyone. That could be getting through the first round. That could, for some, it's just scoring a goal, right? Like Gibraltar, right? For some, it's actually using it as a mechanism to actually be more competitive regionally. So we just introduced, I'll give you an example of that. We just introduced in our Nations League, which qualifies you for the Gold Cup. And our Nations League is League A, League B, League C, right? And so if you win League C, your group in League C, you get promoted to League B, and so forth. So if you've come last, you get relegated. We just introduced the Final Four, right? We have it in League A. We just had it in March where Mexico beat Panama in the final, right? But now we've introduced it for League B and League C. It gives an opportunity for all our members, whether it's the BVI, whether it's the USVI, whether it's the Dominican Republic, whether it's the United States of America, to become champions of CONCACAF in those specific leagues, right? And so, and football is about a journey, right? So, and you have to be, yes, you have to be realistic, but it's about a journey, right? The journey is, for instance, can you imagine the BVI being crowned champions of CONCACAF in League C? Just envision that for a second, right? You are crowned a champion of the region amongst your peers, okay? With the opportunity now to move up to the next level, right? And now compete at another level. And so I think what you need to understand is that the World Cup is something different to everybody. Yeah, listen, there's only been 8 teams that have won the World Cup. 8 countries, that's it. And I can go on the record right now that the BVI will not win the World Cup. I'm pretty confident about it, right? And so, but that doesn't mean you stop, that you don't try to qualify, that you don't compete in it. Because what it does is it resonates and cascades down through your entire ecosystem, right? And you will find your success, you will find your way, you will find your challenges. But there's no way that an adult like me, or him, or you, should be telling any kid in this island that you can't qualify for the World Cup. Never. Ever, ever. And if anybody in football will ever talk like that to somebody, please resign. Right? You shouldn't be in this game. Right? So you need to define what the World Cup means to you. And what's music to my ears is that, yeah, Paul's not an idiot. He understands that the likelihood of him qualifying for the 26th World Cup are not that high. But he's taken it. What he explained to you is exactly what a country like Costa Rica, right? Or a country like England does. Because you have a fiduciary duty of taking care of your players in this tournament. And that's exactly what he's doing. And so that's what the World Cup is.
I would love to hear your take. Okay.
Just Kaki, earlier you were saying there's going to be the extension of the field. How much is it going to be extended? I don't know what the current size is. How much is this going to be extended by?
Full size, full size, maximum.
What is the full
size? 68 by 105.
68?
By 105.
And what is it currently?
It's 100 by some. I can't recall exact what it is, but it's the minimum right now. 64. It's there.
I think it's going to be meter.
Yeah, come away. That is what it would say from the and it starts on exactly Monday. Work supposed to be in America.
And it will last how long?
Approximately 3 to 4 months, depend on the weather.
We didn't hear from Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, having heard all that you would have heard today, how do you feel as the deputy?
Well, I think the members on the panel kind of explained everything in terms of the philosophy of the council and the intentions of the president. Mr. Morgan, of course, supported by Victor and his team. For us, it's definitely about football and football first. You know, at the end of the day, when the teams hit the field, the ball is round. Anybody can score. Everybody has the opportunity to score, and they need to take advantage of that. Our goal in terms of being council members is to make sure that every child in the BVI has the opportunity to kick a ball. Okay, we want to make football the #1 sport in the territory, if it's not already the #1 sport in the territory. And that leads into some of the activities that we've done over the years in terms of the video program, expanding our national team program, a women's program, and just to make sure that there's football first in the eyes of the person in the territory, everyone has an opportunity to come out, enjoy the sport, and mingle with the executives. And of course, Victor's team, in terms of their presence in the territory, shows their support and commitment to the FA, which we're extremely grateful for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Again, as we close off today's press conference, I want to extend a sincere thanks to all.
We can't hear you.
Well, you're here, right? Well, you get here.
Okay, let me start over. As we close this morning's press conference, I want to extend a sincere thanks to all of our panelists, members of the media, and everyone joining us today. This event is more than just a briefing. It is a testament to the collaboration, the commitment, and the community that defines football in the BVI and across CONCACAF. We are proud of what we've accomplished, and we are excited of what lies ahead. Again, thank you.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.